Hey, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Dark Man.
Yes.
And me, Banshee.
And this is Goth Tarot.
Tarot with Banshee, guest starring.
Right. It's the first of the month, so we kind of set out the idea of what is the pain or the shadow kind of topic we're going to work with.
I thought I'd dress in the mood today, since Mr. O always does.
And we work with a variety of decks, but the main source for the big shadow work is coming from the Cries of the Souls Oracle, which we think is really unique and loaded with stuff. So we're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and delve into the dark shadows. What is haunting us this month?
And this shadow work is good for the month. Mr. O will be providing updates in his the 3 remaining shows this month.
Right, updates and or adjacent issues perhaps in shadow territory.
Right. So the first card will be the Dark Shadows. What is haunting us this month? Wow, it's Energy Sponge.
Uh-oh, that sounds serious.
I'll read the affirmation on here later because that'll come up later. But it's Energy Sponge. And I don't know if it's got a number 15. Interestingly enough, that kind of aligns with the devil card, because the devil controls and maybe drains us of our... Wow, I went right to the page. How does that happen?
This is going to be a bad shadow work month.
And by the way, we're filming this on the anniversary of our TFT YouTube channel.
Right.
And really the installation of TFT. So that's the 6 years. 6 years completed, on to the 7th.
All right.
With Energy Sponge. Okay, well, the wisdom here, and this is speaking like your shadow, the Energy Sponge. My role is to make your ego fade away and disrupt the harmony in your inner being. I sponge up everything outside and bring it inside. With me, external energies become your negative internal energies. When I am with you, I'm constantly at my job, so you feel tired, irritated, and scattered, and have difficulty setting boundaries and asserting yourself. You can't seem to focus on yourself and your projects because all your attention is on the outside world. Wow, do I need this shadow? And I think a lot of us do now, because a lot of our attention is focused on what's going on in the world, and we don't realize sometimes, especially those of us who have more empathic qualities, how much this can drain us. And when we soak all of that in, we don't have time for our own feelings and needs and etc.
So it sounds like it's a mixture of purposely being distracted by the world itself, the media, the social media, the cultural things that we all kind of have to be a part of. But it also sounds too like maybe there's something real personal about this too, that we use this as another kind of distraction for personally dealing with that or other shadow issues.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely an interesting card for today. So yes. What else do we have here?
All right, so then we move to the Dark Whispers, what we need to know. And so we work with the supplement section for the Energy Sponge.
So you may often say you're an energy sponge and consider this state of inner imbalance as inevitable, and sometimes it's a source of reassurance. When you don't feel capable of setting boundaries and saying no, I'm the perfect excuse. When you're afraid of your emotional reactions, you can just sponge up other people's, which are so numerous and powerful, there's no room left for you. You don't question your values and follow the decisions made by other people, so you don't make mistakes or fail. Being a sponge is your way of moving forward and experimenting. Well, that's not a very healthy way to do that.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of people that I have often in the past called bliss ninnies, but people who basically feel like they are an avatar of all white light and purpose that is divine, and they can't allow for dealing with negativity, so they're sponging in everything else around them and actually reacting to that.
And they react to that and make that their excuse for not really dealing with the realities we have. I mean, they let it bring them down instead of wanting to be proactive about working for positive change and being a part of that. And there's so much more to this. I mean, I think it's a sort of way to deflect from our own inner issues that we need to deal with. We have so many others to deal with,
It's possible that these next few weeks will be very productive as we deal with this issue, but maybe also some adjacent issues, as I mentioned, may kind of show up too. Who knows?
Do I get to shuffle too?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And so now we are going to pull a supplemental tarot card, and we're going to use a few from this particular deck. It's the Erethereal Shadow Work Tarot. Beautiful deck. There, it's now your turn.
You can feel free to add anything to that if you want.
I think it's kind of like what I said. People who kind of hide themselves or distract themselves and or others with the idea that they only deal with positivity or blissfulness, but they really don't, because they're absorbing the negativity, reacting against it, and yet still somehow, and I'm not saying this is all people here. This may be a particular subset. I call them the bliss ninnies, but, sort of.
There's more than just the bliss aspect of it. Absolutely. And I think it's also another great way that people can feel victimized,
Yes.
and by, of course, external forces that they themselves are allowing in because they refuse to set up boundaries.
All right. So this is the card that addresses something else we need to know.
About the Dark Whisper, about this shadow. It's the Magician. Wow, it's the Mage. So, I didn't know where to put it. That's why I was handing it to you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But anyway, I put it there, so it's there. So the Magician tells me that, if you wanted to, you've got everything you need to be able to integrate this shadow more comfortably with you. The Magician is saying you really need to put your will and in stopping this flood, stopping you from sopping all of this energy up.
Well, I like that, but I also feel too that frankly, the Magician sort of says us could be invested with the idea of portraying ourselves as all powerful in command as a way of distracting from the idea that we're sponging up everything else around us and trying to direct that. So the Magician could be a semi-avatar or persona that we use to further distract or to distract ourselves. We're all powerful. How can this be happening?
Well, right. And it's funny because it's not in the position of a solution, but I sense solutions here. I sense immense power here. In other words, you are more powerful to control this type of thing than you realize, okay? So, why you're letting this overwhelm you instead of empower you to do something about it or to set boundaries? That's the question.
It kind of leads us to the dark drama, how others or outside events may be inadvertently triggering this, and that is from the tarot.
Oh, it was only from the tarot. Okay,
right.
Let me shuffle first this time.
Sure.
Oh, wait, were we picking from the top?
I thought we were just going to go through the deck. Yeah,
we are. So I forgot that because, makes sense. Well, how others or outside events may be inadvertently triggering this. Okay. It's the Ace of Cups, and it's upright. Which is really, again, kind of interesting to me because, I think how they're affecting us in outside events is because we try to maybe justify this by saying how much love we have for others around us and the world, and seeing people suffer like the people in Gaza, or, the people being rounded up, in a very crude way in this country, like they're cattle and they're not people, and how it affects us. We justify it because we feel we have so much love for others, but we shouldn't allow that love to become, such a toxic thing to ourselves personally.
I almost feel like the Ace of Cups as others, energies, or outside events is sort of reinforcing the idea of being a bliss ninny, being more positive minded, trying to say we have to keep thinking of the positive solutions to these problems. It's
Right.
not like we're necessarily denying the problems, but we're trying to say like we just have to apply positivity to them. And so I think we're just letting other people's attitudes once again sponge into us. Most of the rest of society is not maybe as bothered by certain things as we are.
I really like what you said there, because the thing is that other people, we may be feeling, oh, yes, there's positive ways to deal with these people who have totally closed off others, refuse to work with people who have different opinions or political leanings than their own, and think their way is the only way. It's very autocratic, it's very dictatorial, and but it's that way. We want to go and attack this with love, but those hearts, are they willing to open? And are we just sponging in all of this stuff to our detriment? And are we trying to, well, maybe we're trying
Create a
to,
facade.
yeah, maybe we're trying to squeeze that sponge out by saying, hey, look, we want to work with you. And they totally are closing us off.
I have to give it to you. You really, took what I was doing when we decided to come up with this concept and refined it so that each card really naturally leads to the next position. So now we are at the dark truth, what we must accept. And that comes from the warning section for this card, the energy sponge.
Well, what we must expect, and this is again a warning from your shadow. I am energy imbalance. Perfect alignment and permanent balance are pipe dreams. When you feel you are sponging up other people's energies, ask yourself why you're afraid to assert yourself and set boundaries. When you feel that I am carrying out my mission, isolate yourself or ask a trusted person for help. Your energy imbalance may have been created by a thought, a strong emotion, external events, relationship, or memory, and you need to question things about yourself and reconnect with yourself. So, it's
It
very
sounds like,
interesting.
aspects of our atmosphere have a certain level of toxicity that is very hard to escape from.
Well, it's saying that you can't achieve balance this way. It's like a pipe dream, and it's true. It's true. That's the warning here. You're setting yourself up to live with this anxieties and pressures all the rest of your life, and you don't want to do that. But also, let's take it down to a more personal level too, because as much as we see the societal and those kind of external implications, you have to think of how the people around you may be feeding this too. Maybe how you get involved in their own personal dramas and lives. Maybe even your partner and the pressures and things that they put upon you, or that they're experiencing in their own lives. You're taking up too much of their dramas, and you have to set some boundaries and tell them, hey, I have issues too, and they're equally as important as yours, and let's try to work together on solving them.
And so now we pull an additional tarot as also something we must accept. No, don't shuffle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. And this is the Five of Pentacles reversed.
Oh.
Wow. But this is the warning. Interesting.
What you must accept.
This is what you... Oh.
Yes, it's still the dark truth.
But it's what you must accept. Okay, got it. So what you must accept here is that you are perfectly capable of healing, but You should also consider that maybe you need to confide in someone else, whether that's a therapist, whether that's a doctor, whether that's your friends or your family. You need some support to lift you and help you through this. And
This
again, it might be from the very same people that have caused, that you feel you are sponging their energies.
that's the dichotomy I wanted to speak of, is that this is a need to realize you need to come in and maybe acknowledge this to some degree. It can validate you. Not everyone will be exactly what you need to do that with. So this is really saying, look for that person or those persons who are the best source of light or illumination for you, who can help you see into this as the shadow work you're trying to resolve.
The warning clearly is you need healing and you need to recover
Yeah.
your own self again. Pull,
And we live in these times that are so fracturing to us, that this is happening to a lot of us.
all
So,
right.
the dark gift. What is the hidden ability, power, resources, or aspect of yourself that can help you cope with what is haunting you? And for this, we only use a tarot from the Shadow Work Tarot.
Wow. It's the Eight of Pentacles.
No kidding.
So hold on a minute. I just want to get this right again. What hidden ability, power? Oh my gosh. Well, you're perfectly capable here to do the work. You're perfectly capable here of, rolling up your sleeves and doing what you need to do to help you cope with what is haunting you. But not just cope with it, maybe heal, maybe make sure that you don't overfill that sponge so it is just, flooding your system.
I think the Eight of Swords is saying, keep watching.
No, it's the Eight of Pentacles.
I'm sorry, the Eight of Pentacles is saying, keep watching Goth Tarot as we give you all those tools you need, the resources and skills. But no, typically, obviously, you need to work with self at a deep level, and that's where you will find those deeper resources, the true you. And I think some of this will come out maybe a little bit in the following weeks when we explore some related topics here. But I think this is really saying, you will have, just as you will find the light, the previous Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, you will find what you need resource-wise to give you that gift to cope with this.
So what will help you cope? Doing the work will help you cope.
Yes.
And not only that, and part of that work is setting those boundaries.
Yeah.
So
and you
I
can
think
see that a little bit in the Eight of Pentacles too, because that's a person who has a sense of discipline.
Right.
There.
A disciplined approach and a way to work through things. Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Methodically.
So now we are at the end of this reading with the Dark Destiny or Dark Light Marriage, the integration of shadow and light. And we go back to the Cries of the Soul Oracle for the moving forward section of the energy sponge.
Well, in order for me to stop sponging up external energies from you, you need silence. Sit in a peaceful spot and listen to what your thoughts and emotions are telling you. Think about recent disturbing events and visualize a bright bubble surrounding you and protecting you. You can also work on particular chakras, the root chakra for fears about making a choice, the sacral chakra for negative emotional reactions, the solar plexus chakra for upsetting thoughts, the heart chakra for relationship problems, the throat chakra for distressing conversations, the third eye chakra if your intuition bothers you, and your crown chakra if you can't let it go. You are in control of these energies. Wow, such nice stuff here. And I'm going to add one, but I would also say that the great thing about this is maybe doing also chakra realignments would be helpful here, but definitely you can focus on a particular chakra that might really you feel is being imbalanced by, doing all this sponging.
Very interesting. I like that. We've done a little bit of chakra work and we certainly have the resources for it. So that's what everybody needs to think about maybe is where the balance and alignment is going and how you need to fortify or change some of that.
And, when I think about it, maybe visualize this. I've got two things now. Maybe visualize the Seven of Wands card. You standing above all of these different things that are that you are trying to, that you are inadvertently sponging in, and realize that you can rise above this like that person on the Seven of Swords card. You can rise above this and you can say no. You can say no to some of these things. You can also say, I understand your pain, and I wish to work with you on resolving it rather than taking it in. Don't take it in. Don't hold on to that.
All right. And we also pull a tarot, which is also, the guidance for this integration. And that is
the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Let it go.
Show it up to the camera.
Well, it's twofold message here, and I forgot to mention something with the other card, but I'll do it in the recap. The twofold message here is to let it go, get to work on letting it go. Get to work on drying out that sponge a bit. Use that sponge in a more constructive way. Maybe instead of absorbing all of that, finding ways to use that sponge to actually clean and clear it out of your system.
It is a call to action, this card, and so it's kind of like what my mom used to say, maybe a little bit rooter, spit, or get off the pot.
So will the affirmation come after this? Yes. After this?
Well, that's the final affirmation there.
Oh, I thought that was just a reading.
It's a reading, but it has an.
I do want to read the affirmation for this card, so I think this would be the time.
Should then.
It's very short, and I can't find it now. No, I can't get back there.
Yes, sign.
I align my internal and external balance.
Let's say it again.
I align my internal and external balance. So would it be.
So now we will give a final affirmation reading from the Dark Light Oracle.
I guess I'll just say with the Eight of Shadows card there, the work, or the Eight of Pentacles, I'm sorry, that another thing you can do is find a way to clear this energy out of you and transform it into more positive energy you can use. And one way to do that is to, if something is really harming, if people have a particular problem, let's say a friend is in a domestic violence situation and you're taking a lot of that in, how about transforming that energy by donating time or resources to a domestic violence shelter, etc. So in other words, do some sympathetic magic to help release some of that energy from you.
And as we are all evolving forward with tools like this or other tools that others bring, it is really about moving into the full new age, the full age of Aquarius. Community will take a long time, but it's worth the travel.
Absolutely. Okay.
And Madame, I will let you pick it.
Wow, it is the Holy Gate.
Ooh, that's one of the few that are flipped sideways. They're usually not landscape.
And there is an affirmation on here.
Go ahead.
And it is, the doors of pure happiness will soon be open. And
there's more in the book.
Oh, okay. Oopsie. Number 40. Got it. I believe that's the last one in the deck. The message. The path was long and sometimes very hard. You've traveled through dark forests. You've climbed huge mountains. But there you are. You've finally reached your destination and you ought to be proud of yourself. The gates of heaven are about to be opened for you. Once you've crossed this threshold, you will experience a considerable change in your life. Bliss will be your new kingdom, for your soul has reached a point where wisdom, happiness, and joy can become your everyday clothing. So welcome, dear friend. Welcome to heaven. The keywords are achievement, completion, being close to heaven, blessing, reaching your destination. The affirmation is, I feel proud for everything I've achieved so far. I feel complete and blessed. I feel grateful in advance for all the happiness life is about to bring me. And once you are able to find a way to integrate, the pain and the feelings we have for the world and others in our lives in a healthy manner, happiness will return.
A gate is often used to kind of meter the flow in or out of something. And so the idea of an energy sponge needs maybe us to be that gatekeeper to say, this is too much, this can be used, this should be transformed, this should not come into my world.
Work on a positive way to navigate those feelings that are just overwhelming you. A positive way, whatever it is. Just being there for those who are fighting against injustice. Whatever it is, do something more positive and affirming than letting it just sit and fester in your gut. That's, I think, what we have. And Mr. O, it is such a pleasure working with you once a month on these shadow issues.
You betcha, sweetie.
And may it continue a while longer. I like this experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Take care, everybody. And Mr. O will be updating you in his Goth Tarot sessions in the month ahead.
See you next Wednesday.
I'll see you next month. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.